Hello everyone. So today we will discuss MTP Act Offences and Punishments. MTP Act, it has clearly defined who, when, where and documentation, which means the person who should do the MTP, the place where the MTP should be done, then the indications for the MTP and the documentation. So as long as who, when, where and documentation are in place, we are legally safe. All offences under the MTP Act, they have three common features. One, they are cognizable, which means arrest will be there without a warrant. Second, it is non-bailable, which means it is a serious offence and bail is a matter of discretion, not a matter of right. Third, it is compoundable, which means that parties cannot compromise. Once the complaint has been lodged, the parties cannot take back the charges, court case will go on and the punishment will happen. So, if the termination of pregnancy is done by unauthorized person, then there will be a rigorous imprisonment for that person between 2 to 7 years. And if the MTP is done in the unapproved place, then the rigorous imprisonment will be there between 2 to 7 years on the person who is performing the MTP and also the owner of the hospital. If there is failure in documentation, record keeping, consent, admission register, etc., then there will be a fine up to 1,000 rupees and or 1 year of imprisonment on the concerned person. Then there are other offences which are covered by the Indian Penal Code sections 312 to 316. So if the MTP is done without indication and the period of gestation is less than 4 to 5 months and the patient is not quick with the child, that means the quickening was not felt, then imprisonment is there up to 3 years and or fine on the person who is doing the MTP and also the woman who has undergone the MTP. Then if the MTP was done and the period of gestation was more than 4 to 5 months and the quickening was felt by the patient, then it will be covered by section 312 and 316 Indian Penal Code and imprisonment will be there up to 7 years and fine, or imprisonment up to 10 years and fine on the person who is doing the MTP. Then section 313 Indian Penal Code says if the MTP is done without consent, then the life imprisonment or up to 10 years with fine will be imposed on the person who is doing the MTP. Section 314 IPC says if there was a death because of MTP, but the consent was obtained for the MTP, then there can be imprisonment of 10 years with fine on the person who is doing the MTP. If there is death because of MTP and the consent was not obtained for MTP, then life imprisonment can be there or up to 10 years with fine. So MTP is basically a very small procedure, but then it has so many medical legal aspects or the litigations related to it. So it is very important to know each and every aspect of MTP. Thank you for your patient hearing.